Need this foam roller, rolled up towel, even like a rolled up yoga mat would do. And you're going to come and you're going to lie with that lengthways down your spine. So top of it here, bottom of it here. And let's see if I can do this in a way that you can see. So you're going to rest base of your spine here. Lower down. Okay, and all you're going to do is with these, the hands are going to go directly, straight elbow, directly above the head. And you're just going to hold that and let gravity do the work of pulling the hands down, keeping the elbows nice and straight and not allowing the chest to pop. We want to keep abdominals engaged a little bit so that that chest doesn't pop as the arms go up. Essentially what this enables is for the movement to be isolated into the shoulder joint. And you're going to hold that there for 10 breaths. 10 nice deep breaths. Really think about expanding the rib cage. And you should just feel that stretching through that shoulder capsule. Now, for any pain in there, if at any point you have any pain with this exercise, take the weights out of the hands and add something else. There should never be any feeling of instability or apprehension or pain with this test. So those of you who maybe have a history of a shoulder problem, you may want to avoid the weights and just allow gravity to do its thing. So 10 breaths there. You're then going to bend the elbows 45 degrees and do 10 breaths there, or 11 breaths there rather. And then the last one, elbows to 90 degrees, and we're going to hold that there. And this is essentially just to open out those shoulders and that chest. So 10 breaths, 11 at the halfway point, 10 at the bottom, and you should really feel that nice opener for those chest muscles. Roll off to the side. Nice deep breathing with that. Really think about expanding the chest, but don't let it pop up. Then we're going to move on to our next two, because we're actually going to combine stretch 2 and 3. And during this, you're going to need that strap or tea towel. So we're going to start with a seated twist, where you tuck one leg, tuck your left leg, pop it to the right side of your body. So your hips are both on the floor, the foot is tucked to the side, and then this one bends up with your ankle just behind your knee. Now, if that is just too hard and your hips are just not there yet, extend that bottom leg out in front of you. Okay, so depending on where you are, again, if that's too hard, get a cushion or something to lift your bottom off, and you'll find that a little bit easier. So where you are with that, this is really working into those glutes. We've done quite a lot with those glutes and legs this week, so we're going to be focusing on them quite a lot today. Let me just turn this off. Okay, so in that twist, you're going to then extend left arm up, bring left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and you're going to then use that elbow to twist round to the back. Try and keep this left knee at the front on the floor, and try and keep your spine nice and straight as you look behind. If I show you this from the side, my spine stays nice and straight throughout. Elbow up, elbow to knee, and we twist and turn. And we're going to hold that for 16 breaths, I think. Yes. So 16 breaths or 31 seconds, whichever you'd rather. With each exhale, try and just turn a little bit deeper into the stretch. Okay, from that position, once you've done that, you're actually going to keep, so you're in this position. We did something similar last time, but we're going to move into exercise 3 on the same leg. So straight away, you've done exercise 2 on this leg, you're then going to move on to exercise 3 on this leg. All you're going to do is take that left foot and stack it behind you so your knees sit one on top of the other. Last time we had the shins parallel to the front of the room. This time we're going to bring those heels back a little bit, which should be a little bit easier. Again, to make it easier, you can raise your bottom off the floor. If this is just too hard, don't worry, just go into a simple leg cross, okay? So don't stress if you're not there with your hips yet. So if you are there, or whether your legs are crossed, whatever, as we reach this right leg over the top, the left arm is going to come up with the strap, drop down behind, and we're going to pull that strap down, like so, stretching out the tricep muscle here. And imagine that this elbow is moving up and back rather than pointing forwards. We want the point of the elbow to be going as far up and back as we can. Try not to let the rib cage pop, try and keep it down, but really do pull with this hand, pulling that shoulder down. Now you can stay there and just do your 31 seconds or your 16 breaths, or if you want to increase the stretch through your glutes, you simply hinge forward over those legs. Woo-wee! And you're going to do that stretch there. But if you're absolutely upright, that's no problem, that's perfect. I'm going to show you those both on the other side now, just to clarify. So you're going to tuck right leg underneath, bring left leg over the top. If that is too intense, the bottom leg gets extended out. So I'm going to show you that one. Then your right arm this time comes up, right arm to left knee, and then twist. And you're going to hold that. Now, this elbow is really pushing that knee that way, but you're not letting your buttocks lift off the floor. You keep your seat bones firmly planted into the floor throughout, and then you twist. And again, 31 seconds or 16 deep breaths. Really expanding through the rib cage, which is hard in a twist, so just give it what you can. And then we're going to come into the next one. Stack those knees as best you can. Grab your strap, right hand this side, up and behind, and then go into there. Holding that for 16 breaths for 31 seconds, and if you want to increase the stretch through your glutes, you just hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, you're not collapsing forward, you're hinging forward from those hips, so your belly button is leading forward. Your belly button is going forward rather than your shoulders going forward. So that's exercises 2 and 3 rolled into one. I hope your hips and glutes enjoyed those. Then we're going to exercises 4 and 5, which is a 4-way quadricep stretch and then a 3-way hamstring stretch. So your 4-way quadricep stretch, this is literally one of my favourite ways to mobilise and stretch through my hip flexors and my quads, which if you saw the stretching video the other day, you'll recognise these. So we're going to first of all come into a high lunge. So high lunge like this. The biggest mistake with the high lunge is that we all allow our low backs to arch. That's not what we want. So to find that point of stretch with a nice safe spine, what I want you to first do is bend your back knee. Bend your back knee so much that your spine is stacked totally on top of it. From there, I want you to then just straighten to the point that you feel the stretch without changing the posture of your midriff. So your core stays totally neutral. So many of you will be like me and you're not anywhere close getting that leg totally straight, but your spine is nice and neutral, your bottom is tucked underneath, and you're really feeling that stretch down the front of the thigh. And you're going to hold that for 10 breaths. Oh, actually no, I tell a lie, 8 breaths there. Then you're going to drop that knee down, but you're going to keep that rear toe tucked underneath. Same situation, tuck the bottom underneath, don't arch the back, don't pop the ribs, and then drive those hips forward as much as you can, which may not be very far. And you're going to keep that stretch there for 8 breaths. Then you're going to release the toe down and go in to that next level. Okay, exactly the same. Bottom is driving underneath and forward. It's all coming from these glutes to drive that stretch there. Once you have done that, I'm going to just show you at this angle. Once you've done 8 breaths in that way, you're going to take your hands to your chest. You're going to drop this right elbow to the right knee, and you're going to twist. And you're going to twist the body, and what you're aiming to do is get your chest to meet your hands. So if the hands are here, you're twisting that chest to try and meet those hands, and as you're doing that, you're really sinking those hips forward nice and neutrally. But again, there's no arch through the back. Even on the twist, you're staying nice and neutral. Okay? And that's 8 breaths there. So that's 32 breaths in total. Just had to count, make sure. And that is your 4-way hamstring. So a 4-way quadricep. So I'll show you again on this side. Nice lunge position, drop the knee and stack the body, then straighten the knee as much as you can without that leg going. From a front angle, same applies with any squat or lunge. This knee does not roll in, doesn't roll out. It is nice and neutral and over the toes. Everything is square to the front. Don't open out those hips or shoulders. Once you've done that, from this position, you're going to drop the knee and come into phase 2. 8 breaths, release the toe, lunge forward. 8 breaths, hands to chest, elbow to knee, twist, smile. 8 breaths here. Okay, hamstring, 3-way hamstring. Woo-wee, I'm exhausted. So, you can pad out underneath the knee. Highly recommend having something to stabilise yourself here. But essentially what we're going to do is 8 breaths, or 10, 11 and 10 breaths in a sideways twist, a forwards lean, and then an open lunge, okay? So we'll go front ways on. Foot comes forward. Good for the balance, this one. Nice square hips. I want you to keep a nice straight spine. Go this way. Nice straight spine. And hinge, stick your bottom out until you feel a nice stretch through that hamstring. There's no flexion of that upper body. It is purely sticking your bottom out to increase the stretch. When you've done that, you're then going to twist your shoulders as far around to the left as you can. Now you may be up quite high, and that's absolutely fine. You're going to hold that for 8 breaths. Come back to neutral, hold the middle. Oh, I'm talking rubbish. Hold this for 10 breaths. Middle, you're going to hold for 11 breaths. Outside, again, you're still, even as you're turning, you're still pushing those hips backwards away from this front leg, and you're going to still, and then you'll feel that more on the inside thigh. So 10 breaths then here. Don't let this toe roll in or roll out with the twist. The whole time that toe is pointing up to the ceiling and this quadricep is nice and contracted. So hips square, hips to the left, hips square, hips to the right. That's what we're thinking with this one. If I show you straight ways on the other leg, this is where my balance is shocking. Okay, so we're going to do hips, bottom pushing back, spine nice and straight, turn those hips to the right for 8 breaths. Again, do use something to stabilize you. This is a stretch rather than a balance, so do use something to stabilize you if you need it. 8 breaths like that. 8 breaths in the middle. 8 breaths to the left. Good. And that, my friends, is your Sunday stretches. I hope you enjoy them. Some of them are a bit more active, so if you find that you get to the end and you don't have that lovely chilled woosa that you're used to, then I would maybe switch the first exercise to the 5th exercise, so you finish with that one rather than the other ones, or just add an extra stretch on your back when you're all done. Anyway, that's me all done, looking very red in the face with that electric faux fire blaring away. Enjoy them. I hope you feel that really working into those quads and glutes. That's the aim of today. After a heavier week, I think we all need them. But after